You've probably seen those massive military parades in North Korea, right? Amidst all the goose-stepping and missile carriers, there's often one figure with this faint, enigmatic smile. That's Kim Yo-jong. She's not just some official, she's Kim Jong-un's younger sister. And while she might look unassuming, a lot of experts have given her a pretty chilling title, the world's most dangerous woman.
But here's the thing that's so wild. For years, the picture the world saw was, a quiet assistant, literally holding an ashtray for her brother, a loyal sister, a smiling diplomat. But at the exact same time, intelligence experts and defectors, they were seeing something completely different. A master of the brutal game of North Korean politics, the regime's real Iron Lady.
So how does that happen? How does the smiling diplomat become the world's most dangerous woman? That's the mystery we're going to unpack right now.
To really get who she is, we have to rewind way back, because her story doesn't start on the world stage. It starts in the complete and total secrecy of the North Korean royal family.
Okay, so she was born into this ridiculously lavish private compound totally hidden from the world. Then, in 1996, she shipped off to school in Switzerland under a fake name, where her brother, Kim Jong-un, joins her. Imagine that, just the two of them, living in a guarded apartment, totally isolated. That's where they forged this incredibly intense bond. The world really didn't get a proper look at her until their father's funeral in 2011, and her being there, that was a huge signal that she was officially in the inner circle of power.
So, after her dad's death, did she just hang back in the shadows? Nope, not even close. Instead, she began this incredibly methodical, calculated climb to the absolute top, all while the rest of the world was basically dismissing her as a glorified assistant. And this lays out her playbook perfectly. Look at this. At just 23, she's his tour manager, which sounds kind of minor, right? Wrong. It meant she controlled all his travel, all his security. A few years later, bam, she's vice director of propaganda. Within a year, she's the de facto chief. She was the one crafting her brother's whole strongman image. But her absolute masterstroke was the 2018 Winter Olympics. She shows up, all smiles, charming the world and selling this softer image of the regime. Meanwhile, the experts were screaming, "It's a trap!" But while the media was falling all over itself for her little diplomatic tour, some people were not fooled, not at all. As early as 2017, the US Treasury already had her pegged as a key player in the regime's human rights abuses and slapped her on a sanctions list. The warning signs were right there for anyone who wanted to see them.
All right, so this brings us to the moment where everything just flips. The quiet, smiling facade, it just shatters, and the world finally got to meet the real Kim Yo-jong.
Remember back in April 2020, Kim Jong-un just disappeared. The rumors went into overdrive. Was he sick? Was he dead? It created this huge power vacuum. And into that total silence, this new, thunderous voice suddenly started booming from North Korean state media.
For the very first time, a statement was released in her name, and whoa, it was a stunner. She calls South Korea a dog yelping with fear. Now, this wasn't just some random insult. This was a message loud and clear to the entire world. The brother might be gone, but the sister is here, and she is more than ready to run the show.
And her targets aren't just local either. I mean, in 2023, she just casually dismissed the President of the United States, Joe Biden, as an old man with no future. That kind of rhetoric tells you she is not afraid of anyone.
But the really nasty, venomous stuff? She saves that for the people who managed to escape her regime. She calls them scum and filthy dogs and openly promises they will pay a horrifying price. Yeah, the silent assistant was officially gone for good.
And look, these are not just empty threats. In 2020, she reportedly ordered the demolition of the Joint Liaison Office, a huge symbol of peace with the South. Intelligence sources have also linked her to the execution of her own uncle and the assassination of her half-brother. Get this, there are even reports of high-ranking officials being executed just for not showing her enough respect.
So all of this leads us to where she is today. And let's be clear, she is way more than just the Supreme Leader's sister. For all intents and purposes, she is North Korea's number 2. If you need any more proof, just look at this number, over 40. That's how many official state declarations she has personally issued. This was a duty that used to be exclusively for the Supreme Leader himself. She is now the official voice of the entire nation.
In fact, her position is so unique that experts have actually started using a new term to describe her: female co-dictator. She's on the State Affairs Commission. That's the highest decision-making body in the entire country. She's not just advising her brother anymore. She is ruling right alongside him.
And this is what makes her uniquely dangerous. I mean, think about it. History has had plenty of ruthless female rulers, right? Like China's Empress Wu or Europe's Bloody Mary. But they didn't have nuclear weapons. They didn't have a modern, completely sealed-off totalitarian state where no one can challenge them. Kim Yo-jong has all of it. So, we've solved the mystery. We can see the path from the Silent Sister to the Iron Lady pretty clearly now. But in solving that puzzle, we've uncovered a much more urgent and honestly, a much more frightening reality.
And it all comes down to this one single, chilling question. With her influence growing by the day, and her finger potentially inching closer to the nuclear button, is the world ready for a female nuclear dictator?